I'm Ramsey the loud one.
I'm Jesse the short one.
Put us both into one, we are.
Lots of noise, always too fast, lots of laughs. Here's our podcast, the loud and short of it.
Hi, and welcome to Loud and Short of It. I'm Ramsey the loud one.
I'm Jesse the short one, and this week we've got another monthly movie review for you for December. So what we've done, Christmas movies.
Yuck.
Somehow last year we did not come up with this idea, so we're ahead of the curve.
Oh, fuck, did we not?
Maybe we did, but they would have been movies in theaters. Now, of course, there's no theaters, so we picked our favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Ramsey has picked Jingle All the Way.
The best Christmas movie.
With Arnold, old Arnold. And I've picked two TV specials because if you combine them together, they're almost the length of a full movie.
That's true.
And that is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman. The absolute classics.
Certainly picked those two.
The absolute classics.
Which one are we going through first?
Let's start with the worst one. Let's start with Jingle All the Way.
You're out of your fucking mind. Okay. Let's start with Jingle All the Way. You want to read through the funky stuff, or should I?
Yeah, you go for it.
All right, Jingle All the Way. Now just
yeah, horrible
lies told on the internet. Critics 15%.
Oof, that's very bad. That's out of 100.
Audience 38%.
Not much better.
Jesse, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give this movie. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna give my answer. I'll give that to you later.
Okay.
I've got two answers depending on which way I want to look at this movie.
As far as I'll go ahead and give mine now. As far as I'll give two as well. As far as a Christmas movie, like a 10. As far as a movie that's like just fucking insane, I couldn't have thought of like in a K-hole. 105.
Yeah.
Just excellent. This was made on a budget of $130 million.
No, it was made on a budget of $70 million.
$70 million. It's almost like you should be reading these out. And it made $130 million worldwide with an opening weekend of $12 million.
So even with those terrible reviews, it turned a profit.
Dude, it was Arnold in the 90s. That shit was infallible. I bet that script was written the day of. Oh man, you ready for some interesting facts?
Yeah, and then we're getting into takes because I'm so ready to give my opinions on this movie.
So this movie was directed by Chris Columbus, who would later
Christopher Columbus.
This
movie is a hell of a lot older than I thought it was.
Oh yeah, and the same guy who directed Harry Potter 1 and Home Alone.
Really?
Swear to God,
he did Home Alone and then did this.
I think Home Alone came out after this.
They gave him another shot after this movie.
He was already a big director. He made fucking Gremlins.
He made Gremlins as well.
Dude, he makes a shitload of Christmas movies.
Man, so he was like banging him out of the park.
Yeah.
As far as classics, and then made this movie.
You're wrong on this. Everyone's wrong. I refuse to accept this. He based the movie off of his experience trying to find a Buzz Lightyear for his kid, which I find fucking hilarious.
This man was minorly inconvenienced for like 2 days. He was like, "Oh man, I could write an hour and a half long movie.
Let's make a slight against capitalism, but also cheer it on at the same time." And the second fact is that Arnold only took this role because he had to drop out of Planet of the Apes, which would go on to be made by Tim Burton and star Mark Wahlberg, and it's one of the worst movies of all time.
Man.
Unlike this, the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Now, are you ready to get into our takes?
Yeah, should I start?
I'd like you to start.
Okay. So here's my scores. If I'm doing this movie based as I went to see this movie, and I take it at face value for what the movie is.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go see a Christmas movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger as the hero that goes around and gets a present for his kid. It gets a big whopping fucking 4 out of 100. It's a terrible movie. Now, if I were to go into this movie and right before walking into the theater, somebody briefly explained to me that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the villain in this entire movie, and the hero Ted is simply trying to get laid. Man, this movie becomes... We're going to flip it. It's a 96.
The fucking dichotomy of our friendship has been completely explained by you saying that. Ted fucking sucks. When I was a kid and Ted gets shit thrown on him, it was the best shit ever. When he fucking punches Ted's reindeer and Ted's freaking out, it was the best.
Ted is an absolute fucking... until the end, he's a shithead at the end.
Ted's a
just
fucking
can't take
criminal.
No for an answer,
but otherwise a good guy.
With all of the other wives that he's got on his dick, he is a fucking hero.
Let me.
The man put Christmas lights on everyone's houses because he had
Yeah.
extra Christmas lights. What a
He
great fucking
he bought
guy!
extra Christmas lights so he could prey on the mothers of the neighborhood because he was living off his wife's fucking alimony. All right, let me tell you a few things. Let me tell you a few things about this movie. This movie has fake Santas involved in a crime syndicate, brawls with those Santas, and police raids.
Yeah,
fucking IEDs, dude.
Yes,
this movie fucks.
I'll give
this
one.
Movie absolutely fucks.
The best thing I can say for this movie is that every single cop in it is a fucking idiot and always gets hurt, and it's very funny.
The best part is they're in the radio station and the bucket. He's like, I was on the bomb squad for 20 years, and the bomb explodes, and it cuts back to him. And it's like a Looney Tunes shot of him completely fine. He's just covered in like black soot.
I got to watch this movie with somebody who had never seen it before, had actually never seen an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie before.
What?
And I know. I was just as amazed. But it was very funny having this be the first look into Arnold Schwarzenegger acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I promise this isn't what it normally is.
No, it is what it normally is.
Yeah, but it's
Bro,
normally
Arnold
in an
Schwarzenegger
action movie, so it makes more sense.
That's why I like this movie, because it is an action movie, though.
Yeah, but the whole time he has that Arnold Schwarzenegger accent, and nobody's addressing it in any way whatsoever.
Well, hey, some people's dads are foreign, asshole. Oh man, Ted, I was going to talk about Ted, actually. I can't believe you brought him up that you liked him. Yeah. Ted's a fucking creep. Ted's the best fucking bad guy in this movie because he's inconsequential. He's just weird. He's like the at-home threat. And you already have like the perfect threat of Sinbad being an unhinged mailman. Bro, did this movie make you laugh at least? Like genuinely?
Yes, but only when Arnold got hurt. It was funny when Arnold lost. Every time Sinbad started beating up Arnold, I was like, yeah, fuck that dad. That dad's a piece of shit. He deserves what's coming to him.
I think just the entire concept of him going through the fucking mall and then being like, hey, by the way, this retail store, we're all scalpers. And then he gets fucking beat up, his shit beat out of him by a single mom who thinks he's a fucking pedophile.
Yeah. Oh, that scene specifically, that took an extra. I was going to give it a 54, be fair about it and give it a reasonable score. But the child that steals his ball is so ugly and creepy looking that it bothered me, and I thought about it for the rest of the film.
You need to go get checked in, dude.
It has a very creepy fucking haircut and keeps running away, but then like taunting Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I just want to know who cast that
I
creepy,
can't even fucking remember what this kid looks
child.
like.
If they were making a horror movie and they were like, we need a possessed 8-year-old, I'd be like, dude, you fucking nailed the casting.
Please put him up.
Oh, I will. It's the creepiest little fucking girl I've ever seen, and they don't address the fact that she's a creep. She was creepier than Ted, and Ted was a massive fucking creep.
That is true. He technically assaulted a single mother. Oh, she wasn't a single mother. Her husband was just an asshole. I got a couple things. I want to move on to like sort of the ending. The downtrend of this movie after the initial like Santa raid or whatever is like fucking hilarious because it comes down, it gets like kind of more normal, and he like goes to a coffee shop, and him and the other dude trying to get the Turbo Man doll are like trying to fucking see eye to eye.
Right back to bombings.
And then they fucking. Some radio host is like, we have a Turbo Man doll, and they both sprint there, and then the mailman pulls out what he claims to be an IED, and it is. And then it cuts from there to him stealing Ted's son's Turbo Man doll, and then Ted comes in, Arnold's wife gets all pissed off, and Ted's reindeer attacks Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he fucking knocks it out.
This is also the entire reason that reindeer attacked Arnold Schwarzenegger is because Arnold Schwarzenegger broke into Ted's fucking home, tried to steal a present from a child, and then lit his house on fire.
But like, dude,
Arnold is the villain.
He is the villain, but he's fucking awesome.
He's a terrible fucking person. And the end of the movie,
your biggest problem
just perfectly encapsulates what's wrong with him. This whole thing ends. He goes on this horrible adventure because he doesn't give a fuck about his family, and all he cares about is selling mattresses, which is the most boring job in the fucking world. Yes, you're my favorite customer, and remember you're my favorite
number one customer.
And fucking at the end, they're like, haha, it's funny because he also forgot to get a present for his wife. It's not funny. Jesus fucking Christ, Arnold.
Dude. Bro, you're watching this. You're
forget
watching this movie wrong. Because I watched this movie as a small child, and my dad was like,
I watched this as a kid too.
And I was like, hey, Terminators, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, he's a good guy. And I watched this as an adult, and I was like, I don't care if he's a bad guy. I love this guy.
I had a similar reaction. As a child, I loved this movie because Arnold did the Pow Pows, and then I thought that the Turbo Man action figure was cool.
Yeah.
And as an adult, I'm like, this is the worst father in the fucking world, yeah. And I hope he loses. I hope Sinbad wins because he seems to care about his child more.
Yeah, especially the ending whenever we get to the part where he goes to the parade, and they're just like, hey, you need to get suited up, and they put him in like a fucking real life Iron Man suit, yes. And he has like an actual brawl, and then like halfway, like a quarter way through the parade sequence where it's like, it seems pretty obvious this is just fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. People start acting like he's actually Turbo Man, and he starts doing superhero shit. And then it gets to like the end, and everyone's like, one of the cops is like, Turbo Man, we'd be honored to have someone like you on the force. And I was like, it's not fucking Turbo Man.
The same cop that Arnold Schwarzenegger had smashed his donut, smashed his coffee, run over his bike, and was near him when a bomb exploded in his face.
I also like how, like, at the end, whenever fucking Jamie, the little kid, is just like, man, this is awesome, Turbo Man. I wish my dad was here. And he was like, Jamie, your dad has been here the entire time. And he just pulls off his clear visor, which is supposed to be a mask. And Jamie's like, Dad, you're Turbo Man. He's like, of course.
I liked that when he put the suit on, they were like, well, this doesn't make any sense because they'll immediately recognize Arnold's voice. Yeah. And then they were like, the mic has a voice changer in it. Yeah. And then Arnold leaves. Not once does his voice change. It's just Arnold the whole time.
And not just that, but after he has to pick a kid out of the audience to give the Turbo Man doll. And he's pointing at fucking Jamie, and Jamie's like, he's pointing at me. And then the other kid's like, no, he's pointing at me.
Ted's fat son.
Yeah, and then Arnold just goes, Jamie. Jamie's like, he knows my name, and I was like, dude, if my father's from overseas, if my father was in a fucking full-blown Batman outfit with the mouth covered and said my name in his accent, I would turn around immediately and be like, Dad, what the fuck are you doing dressed as Batman? That kid's dumb as fuck.
Yeah,
he's the villain in my book.
Also, just more things to shit on it because I'm not going to get off this train. One, Ted bought a reindeer, so he's better than Arnold. And two, the acting between Arnold Schwarzenegger and his wife is just abysmal. Like, I know that saying Arnold Schwarzenegger's a bad actor is kind of a dumb take, but just, like, those two didn't touch the whole movie until the very end. And even then, they're, like, kind of awkwardly being like, I like you. It's very off-putting.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't even think about it. Well, come on, dude. It's symbolic of their marriage. He's obviously a monster.
It's very confusing that she doesn't go for Ted. It would have been a different movie, because if she had just gone for Ted, Ted wouldn't have been the bad guy. He would have been fine.
No, if she went for Ted, we would have been sitting here being like, the only woman in this movie is a piece of shit.
Oh, no, I would have been
really?
On her no, Arnold is a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit, but
lies
he's just
to her like scene 3, just blatantly to her face over something pretty important. After lying to her.
His kid's toy?
2 minutes ago, he lied to her, and then he does it again with the toy. It's insane.
Don't think that's insane. If my dad told me he did that shit, I would not. Now, going through the rest of this movie, I understand where you're coming from, but if my mom was like, Maya, did you get Ramsey the fucking toy he wants for Christmas? And he was like, oh, yeah, because he's old and doesn't understand how scarcity works. I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. It's a shitty thing to do. But
it was right after a fight. It was absurd.
The damnation of Arnold doesn't come at that point. It comes when he's chasing a child around a store, trying to shake a ball out of him.
No, that child deserved it.
I forgot. That child was devil looking. So, Jesse couldn't handle it.
From my rankings, in this movie, it goes, the wife is the best for putting up with Arnold's shit.
100%.
Then it goes the child for having to have such a shitty father. He could do anything, and I'd be like, you were raised horribly. It's not your fault. Then it goes Ted, except for all the bad stuff he did at the end.
Ted,
Very cool
Ted
guy.
Except for kind of sexual assault.
Then it goes Sinbad.
Okay.
He worked so hard he couldn't get a present for his son. That sucks. And then it goes everyone else. Then it goes Arnold, piece of shit father, who didn't learn a lesson, and never learned a lesson through the whole movie. And then it goes the child with the ball.
Oh,
the child with the ball isn't bad. The child with the ball is just so fucking creepy that I morally am against her.
See, if you were a real comedian, you would have said the child with the ball, then like the cops.
Oh yeah. If the movie had ended when the cops exploded and never gave you the Looney Tunes scene of him holding the bomb, it just gave you the impression they were all dead. It would have been a 10 out of 10.
I just don't understand. I agree. I don't understand the ramp up of this movie gets insane because it does go to like fucking like terrorist movie levels when they have the bomb, and then it's just like Arnold's jetpacking around fucking New York. I guess I don't know where the fuck he is. He flies through that fucking family's Christmas dinner.
Also, they pulled guns on them when all they had done was gone into a radio station and mildly pushed a guy around. And then once after they...
No, he'd already pulled... Didn't he? Wasn't that after the bomb threat?
No, they just pulled guns instantly.
It's a real... This movie needs to pick one to be realistic.
But yeah, and then at the end, after Sinbad has already blown up the chief of police, they just arrest him like normal. They just put him in handcuffs. They're like, oh, you bad guy. And attempted to murder a child and fought off Turbo Man.
I also love when Jamie is like, hold on, here's this action figure to like the mailman. He's like, thank you, my son's gonna love it. I'm like, dude, your son's not getting that shit. Like, you're going to fucking federal prison, dude. You committed an act of terror.
Oh man,
multiple actually.
Multiple. Okay, let's get into the other two now that we've thoroughly torn that movie apart.
Yeah, man, I don't even give a fuck about these other two. All right, you want to do the numbers and the funny stuff for it?
I'll go quick. What do we want to start with? Frosty or Rudolph?
Let's start with Frosty because I got minimal takes on this one.
Okay, 73 from critics, 72 from audience. Seems weird a Christmas movie would be more for the critics than the audience. Being I think Christmas movies are just for the audience.
I feel like this one must have been like retroactively reviewed.
Maybe.
I can't imagine that they were just like, here's all the newspaper clippings from 73 of whether or not people like this shit.
I'm going to go ahead and give this one a solid 85. What are you giving it?
I'm going to give it a fucking like 10.
A 10?
The 10% comes from it only being 25 minutes.
It made no money because it's a television special.
Yeah.
And couldn't find the budget because it's a television special.
Yeah.
And let's get into the interesting facts.
Are there any?
The Frosty the Snowman song was a rebuttal to the Rudolph song that came out a year prior. So this was like the Christmas rap battles of the 1940s.
Oh, they were going bar for bar.
Who could make the dopest Christmas character and then write a song about them.
Okay.
And then it was made by Rankin Bass, who made a shitload of Christmas movies and animated movies. So same people that made Rudolph. That's why they're together. I had a box set as a child. That's why I like it so much.
See, I watched these movies on ABC Family and stopped thinking about them like a normal person.
Nice. Frosty, voiced by a stand-up comedian who did dirty jokes, apparently.
Wow.
So weird selection on that. And then this was partially made in Japan, making it an anime.
Oh,
yes.
You like anime and I don't.
Like anime now. Frosty is my favorite anime.
All right, boys, book him. Oh my
Naruto
god.
run out of here.
Oh god. You want to
give
give
Frosty shuffle?
Why are you like this? All right, you want me to get my takes first?
Yeah, why don't you try to tear this apart?
I don't have a lot for this movie. The only thing I feel like this movie would have gotten a higher score for me if I got super fucking high beforehand.
If you were like a child.
Oh yeah, I literally watched this shit like right after work, and I was like, "Is this what I was supposed to watch?" The fucking out of nowhere, some magician's fucking hat falls on a snowman, and he's alive.
A shitty magician.
Although you gotta hear something about that magician. He whatever he talks about how he wants to be rich from being a magician, he says millionaire, not billionaire.
Yeah.
So it dates itself a little bit.
I'm just gonna dive into my favorite part about this movie.
Okay.
Is that like Rudolph, for example, and many other Christmas movies that are based on songs.
Yeah.
They add a bunch more songs that no one gives a fuck about because we want the good one.
Yeah.
This is just Frosty the Snowman for the whole time. They just sing different parts of Frosty as the movie's going along.
Yeah.
And I like it. It's like you watch the whole scene and you're like, yeah, I know what's going on in the movie. And then a guy goes, Frosty the Snowman, he's jolly and happy. And you're like, oh, Yeah, I picked up on the subtle cues.
Yes.
And then, the sun got hot one day.
Yeah.
I was aware
There's some
that
John Williams type storytelling in the score.
I very much liked it.
I think
I could make it a Western. It would have worked.
Shut up. Stop trying to make me like it. I think I like the end when this fucking magician monster man locks this sentient snowman in this greenhouse and murders him effectively. And this child is obviously crying over her dead friend, and then Santa fucking bumbles up this big fat pile of nothing and just goes, "You stupid little idiot. He's made of Christmas rain or whatever. Christmas snow. All it's got to do
autumn rain.
Yeah, all it's got to do is get cold again, you little idiot." And then he opens the windows and Frosty gets cold.
Yeah, because he's Santa and he's a fucking hero.
I saw this shit as a kid.
He just whips the magician and sends him back on home.
But here's the last thing I'll say of this movie so we can get into Rudolph. I think my other biggest problem with this movie is not claymation. Would have fucking loved it if it was claymation.
Really?
This animation's shitty. It looks dumb and fucking Hallmarky. It looks
very anime.
Yeah, it's true.
I think if you didn't like the animation, you weren't, and you're the audio nerd, you weren't paying attention to the train scene. Because let me tell you, this whole movie, very normal sounds. Just like a pleasant movie to enjoy. And then for some reason, they go to buy tickets to the North Pole.
Yeah.
And that man selling those tickets goes on a fucking acid trip inside of his booth. And is springing and boinging around with the best noises I've ever heard in any movie.
So your argument against me is that I missed the good noises
part? Yeah, you missed the good noises. How are you going to give it a 10 when at least 30 of the points I gave it were because of the sick-ass noises?
How dare I forget the springy boingy moment of the Ticketmaster?
Exactly.
So you pull the Santa moment on me. You open the doors of the greenhouse, show me what a stupid idiot I am.
If you keep shitting on Santa, I'm going to lock you in a greenhouse like a magician.
Oh, dude. Don't get me started on Santa.
I'll watch you melt, and you're not made out of Christmas snow.
Wait till we get into Rudolph.
Okay.
That's all I got on that. You got any more on Frosty?
Yeah, great fucking movie.
I think that this is a great thing to have on mute in the background of your living room. I don't give a flying fuck about this movie. I would love to see it while I'm drinking coffee and talking to my dad about how work is going.
I also like that it's very similar to other cartoons where the parents don't matter whatsoever.
No, I forgot about parents.
This little
Are they even in this?
This little girl is just like, a ticket to the North Pole. I need to be back by Christmas, and it's Christmas Eve, which they're at school for some reason. But anyways, she gets into a refrigerator and promptly begins to die because that is what one would do if they were trapped in a refrigerator. And she doesn't get home until Santa drops her off. So what the fuck her parents thought was going on?
This kid was really fucking banking on Santa being real.
No
I guess that's a good critical thinking from a child, because she was like, oh, if this fucking snowman can talk, Santa's gotta be real.
Also, the same way that your Jingle All the Way movie ended so fucking horribly, this one does as well, because the second that it ends, Santa drops her off on the roof of her house and then fucks off. like a small 7-year-old child has a way down.
This movie's ending with at least her breaking it. The after credit scene is her parents take her to the fucking urgent care.
And she's yelling about frozen snow people and Santa.
She's like, we gotta get her committed. She jumped off the fucking roof.
Okay, so I'm glad in general we both agree it was a great movie. Absolutely stellar. Way better than Jingle All the Way.
I want my 25 minutes back. All right, you ready to get into Rudolph?
Rudolph, yeah.
You want to give this one too?
This might be the most well-known Christmas movie. I think so.
Yeah, probably, for sure.
Okay, that's a good one. It's my favorite. Critics, 95. Critics just love it. The audience, only 84, which is lower than I was expecting.
Really?
Yeah. What would you give it?
I'll give this one a fucking 35 because it made me laugh. I eat both of these movies. I would not sit down and watch. Like, I watch these movies by myself. I imagine if I was with a slew of people and we were all doped up on Christmas cheer, maybe I would have gotten some more enjoyment out of it.
Very strong eggnog. So I'm gonna give Rudolph only like a 65. I liked Frosty a lot more.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I still think Rudolph's the best, and the only reason that I'm giving it the low score is because I watch Rudolph the same way that I watch The Princess Bride and many other movies, where I think part of the movie's amazing and the rest I just don't give a fuck about.
There is a huge section of this movie that I did not realize existed.
Rudolph,
as an adult.
The first 25 minutes, fucking stellar. Just amazing, because that's the part where the Rudolph song is played the most.
Some very strong words.
Just absolutely couldn't be made better. Perfection, cinema perfection.
If I could compare the two, okay,
and then
if they were spices, Frosty the Snowman would be flour, and this would be salt. This has some fucking semblance of flavor.
For the time that this came out, which I still got to get through my interesting facts, but at the time this came out, this was kind of like pushing the envelope on a couple different issues. So that's why I'll say it's not salt. Nowadays, we're looking at it.
They're not pushing the fucking envelope, Jesse. They're fucking. Donner has his kid. He fucks his wife. By the way, Donner's an alpha male. Absolute Chad. Donner fucks, dude. And then he has his kid. And then he treats his kid like absolute shit.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, your little red nose there. And he's like, your fucking nose is glowing. Oh! He just treats his son like shit. And then they go to the fucking reindeer games.
Yeah, just like the song, isn't it swell?
Oh, yeah, just like the song. They go to the fucking reindeer games, and Donner's like, God, I'm so ashamed of my idiot son. And then Rudolph just fucking hits every
Athlete.
fucking one.
Beautiful
just kills
athlete.
it. Student athlete of the year. And
he's getting bitches.
Real
right
quick,
away.
just a little pin that we're to pull out there. His girlfriend Rudolph has the voice of a 6-year-old boy. His girlfriend has the voice of a 40-year-old woman. It's really creepy. She's just like,
he was pulling older women.
Hey Rudolph, I think you're kind of cute. And he's like, oh fuck, that's awesome. Oh Santa, she thinks I'm cute. Anyway, Rudolph pulls all this shit, wows the crowd, wows Santa Claus, and then his fucking nose cap that his dad gives him comes off, and they see he has a red glowing nose.
Dirt.
Instantly fucking clowned. Literally, Donner's just like, fuck, my son's a loser. Everyone starts clowning him, and then even Santa goes, what the fuck, Donner?
Santa's a piece of shit. He's the villain in this movie.
He's like, what the fuck, Donner? He had excellent numbers, and he ruined it with his deformity.
Yeah, this movie is not. Donner and Santa are not the good guys.
Who the fuck is the good guy? Because Rudolph's a fucking loser. The Dobby, the elf guy.
Yeah, Dobby the elf.
Dude, he has the best story in this shit.
Yeah, him and Rudolph.
He's just like, Rudolph's story is that he has a red glowing nose, and Dobby the elf is like, I don't want to make toys. I want to be a dentist. And everyone's like, you clown? How dare you make toys? He's checking the doll's teeth and shit. And he's getting beat up by the fucking line leader in the factory.
Ramsey watched this as a child, and he was like, yes, this is a story that is strictly about a Rudolph with a reindeer with a red nose and an elf that wants to be a dentist. And then he watched it as a 24-year-old man and was like, yes, this is simply a movie about having red noses and being a dentist.
Dude, but that's
it couldn't possibly be about anything
else.
else.
The fucking ending, even when you get through the whole middle part, which I don't understand. At one point, the only good part of the middle 30 minutes of this is that at one point, they're like, we have to go to the island of Misfit Toys because we're misfits. And they go to the island of Misfit Toys and talk to the Misfit King. And he's like, well, this island's only for Misfit Toys. And then someone just goes, man, even too much of a misfit for misfits. And I'm fucking crying on the floor laughing.
My favorite moment in the 30 minutes that don't matter is when they fight the abominable snow monster again. And the little dentist guy just rips every one of his teeth out of his fucking head. That's like fucking illegal.
Dude, we're forgetting about fucking Yukon Cornelius.
Oh yeah. the ultimate. Yes.
This miner's just insane, bro. He's like, I'm looking for gold. And then he's just like, fuck gold. He has like Tourette's. And then at one point, he like stands up during a song and he just goes like this. And you see a fucking gat on his waist, bro. Like, not an orange chip. It was like they pulled out a fucking revolver from a Clint Eastwood movie, put it on his fucking waist. They let you know Cornelius shot, movie. Dude. Cornelius is my favorite character. He's nuts. He just screams about gold. But go in the end of this movie. Yeah, everyone.
So the lesson at the end of this movie is dog shit, because it's that you should apologize and work for the people that treated you like fucking shit.
No, it's literally like you should only be kind to people with disabilities if they can service you.
Yes.
And then like even Donner, Rudolph's dad, who doesn't have a moment with him, just goes, yeah, see, I fucking told everyone that was gonna come in handy one day. And then Santa, who was skinny in the beginning of the movie, and his character development was that Miss Claus got him fat. Was like, I'm ready for Christmas because I'm fat. Rudolph, you red nose. Thank God. You can help me.
You.
And he slaves Rudolph.
No, the moral of the story for all three of these movies is that apparently our favorite Christmas movies have no lessons that are taught.
They're all fucking
no
nonsense.
good lessons that are being taught.
The thing about the only my other favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone. All that teaches is guerrilla warfare. I think it's bonkers that Jingle All the Way has to stand with these two pieces of shit movies.
These are fucking amazing.
Because these movies bored the fuck out of me. Jingle All the Way. I was laughing like a hyena the entire time.
One negative thing I can give about Rudolph, which you were on the other team of this for Frosty, claymation is a stupid, stupid form of art.
You're insane. It's way cooler to look at.
It takes so fucking long.
But it looks cool.
But it's insane.
Who cares?
The fact that anybody is willing to do such an act.
You're mad at it because
I'm mad
other
at it
people
because
are
they
doing
work too
it?
hard.
Fucking
It's dumb.
Jesse's mad because the work happened that he wasn't involved with, and it was too hard.
It was obviously too challenging and gruesome. No one should be forced to do that.
If you're gonna watch one of those claymation stop movies, watch Year Without a Santa Claus. It's the best one because it has the cool musical number of the fireman, the nice guy.
By Baskin and Robbins.
Yeah,
which is what I'm gonna call them from now on.
31 flavors of Christmas. Oh man, well. I feel like that kind of wraps up our monthly movie review for December.
Yeah, if you paid attention to both of us, you're either gonna watch no Christmas movies because they're all dog shit, or watch every Christmas movie because they're all the best.
Yeah.
The only way that you could make these movies better is if they were all one, and it was a movie about Frosty and Arnold Schwarzenegger riding Rudolph into the sunset.
I was about to say the only way
Western.
The only way you can make the other two better is if Arnold Schwarzenegger dubbed in over them. Donna, I'm your son Rudolph. I've returned. Oh,
as long
man.
as he also replaces the 30-year-old wife of 6-year-old Rudolph.
That's true.
Rudolph, I think you're very cute.
Hey, you're kind of cute. He thinks I'm cute. That was me doing voices for 30 hours. Oh, man.
And the Rudolph voice has to replace every other character in Jingle All the Way. So it's Arnold, but Sinbad sounds like Rudolph. Ted sounds like Rudolph. The wife sounds like Rudolph. The child sounds like the grumpy.
Do you know how many bombs are put through the U.S. Postal Service per year?
Delete that part. Oh, man. Well, I'm wrapping this one.
Yeah.
This is the best monthly movie review. I don't give a fuck about the movies anymore. We're
Merry
hilarious.
Christmas.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Spend good time with your family. What's next week, Jesse?
Next week, we've got our year in review. So we're going to come back to you. We're going to answer all of your questions. What's going on in your life? What advice do you need?
Yeah.
There's a little, I think they're called like Ask Susie columns in newspapers or something.
Yeah,
Ask Betsy.
That's good enough for me.
Something like that.
Ask Susie or Betsy.
We're Susie and Betsy for you next week.
Let us give you life advice questions, and if you don't need life advice, make them up.
Yeah.
We don't fucking care.
We'll answer anything.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you for listening.